Guys, how's it going? So if you have a u102f code, that is for the identification sensor that's on front of the radiator on your Mark 6, it sits right there. You can't buy it separately from Volkswagen. So what you need to do, this is the original sensor. You cut it from a Mercedes sensor. So they're exactly the same. The wire coloring's exactly the same. All you have to do is cut the connector off the Mercedes new sensor and wire up your old sensor harness to the new Mercedes sensor. So instead of buying an entire radiator and unhooking the coolant, having to drain it all, breaking plastic hoses, anything like that, you can just pull this from the intercooler, get the Mercedes harness and sensor, cut off the Mercedes harness, put your old OEM harness on the new sensor, and this is for the u102f code. It's the identification sensor on the radiator. Volkswagen does not sell it separately. You have to replace the whole radiator. This code usually comes up when it's hot outside, when the weather changes. So just giving you guys a video on this because I know it's going to start happening more on these Mark 6 Volkswagens with the 2-liter turbo. And instead of spending $1,000 at the dealership, you could do it for about $70 and maybe 2 or 3 hours depending on how quick you are with tools. But yeah, just butt connected it. And then I'm going to go ahead and, wrap it in some electrical tape so there's no tension on those. The Mercedes sensor is a little bit shorter. It's literally about that long, so you cut, well, no, it's technically this long. But it's still shorter than the original one, so you want to leave a little extra harness on that one. So this is for the u102f code or the u1030 code if you don't have VCDS or VAGCOM to scan the car correctly. It's going to come up as a u1030, and it's most likely going to happen when the heat changes, when the weather changes. It gets hotter, 90 plus degrees. You're going to get this code coming up more often. You could drive all winter with no issues. It doesn't affect the drivability of the car, but if you want to pass smog, you're going to have to rewire this sensor. So there's a bunch of tutorials on how to remove all this stuff at the front. I didn't go ahead and do that on video just because there's tutorials on how to change the intercooler or the radiator, how to remove the front bumper. It's all pretty simple. There's just a lot of screws. You obviously do want to unhook the battery. That's one thing I want to point out because you do have these airbag sensors. So yeah, thanks for watching. This again is the u102f code for the identification sensor. So this is the end result. You get a new sensor. Volkswagen doesn't supply it. It is a Mercedes sensor. I will link the part number in the description. Thanks.